Hey everybody, my name is Adam Josh, and my kids and I were discussing some environmental issues that we all face that maybe you don't know about during a drive to school this morning after a cup of coffee, and it turned into this presentation that I've made, Secret Footprints on the Earth by Adam Josh, unveiling the hidden receipts of modern convenience. 4 points, 4 topics that we're just going to discuss. And I have not been much of a slideshow presenter in the past, but if you would like to have me present this to your group, wherever that group is, hit me up and I can do it. Slideshow is ready to go. We're just going to go through it. I am Adam Josh. I've been a vegan since 2013. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I have kids, I'm a family guy, and let's get into it. The secret footprints on the earth. So you think you're an environmentalist. We often overlook the massive ecological marks we leave through everyday norms, our secret footprints. Topic 1, the obsession with the lawns. So you might look around you and notice that everybody cuts their lawns in North America. I'm here in Southern Ontario, and people are, they want that perfect lawn. So a tradition of green that hides a staggering resource drain. The manicured illusion. Artificial landscapes. Suburban lawns are the single most grown crop in America, yet they provide no food and support minimal local biodiversity. This cultural norm requires an intervention of water and chemicals that rivals industrial scale pollution. Not only that, but that's enough. But if you try to quantify the fact that we're supporting the oil industry by buying gasoline for your lawnmowers, oil for changing in the lawnmowers, and all the different Briggs and Strattons and different brand name lawnmowers that you're going to have for each house, it kind of, you're creating this whole industry, whereas grass is not an edible crop, whereas you could put like a garden in the front of your house and actually benefit from eating lettuce, salad, spinach, onion, garlic. Daily water comparison. People are really on about lately about what the data centers are using. But for example, one average lawn, 332 gallons a day. Of course, we are in North America. We're in Canada specifically, so we don't need to speak in gallons, but this is in gallons right now. We'll have to do the conversion later. So one average lawn, 332 gallons. 1,000 houses would be 330 gallons daily, and one AI data center is 330 gallons daily. So you can see for yourself, if you want to get so concerned about AI data centers, they are using the average of 1,000 lawns. Think about how many 1,000 lawns worth of water. Think about how many lawns there are being watered in your area. A single neighborhood of lawn waterers matches the direct water consumption of a massive AI data center. Just for comparison. Topic 2. I mean, the lawns are a big topic, right? We could go into it in further detail. I have no issue talking for hours on this point. I've lived off grid. I've grown a lot of different things. My wife and I, my whole family and I are into gardening and growing food crops, fruit forest, and it's something that when I traveled through Portugal, for example, I went to Orchard of Flavors run by Miguel and his team, and they have an actual fruit forest that they're growing there. So I've learned a lot from them as well. Topic 2, the secret of the plate. Explored the hidden environmental cost of animal agriculture. Of course, as a vegan, we know that I am not directly consuming animal flesh, so that I am not worried about the crops that that humans could otherwise eat that are going to the animals, and the amount of land that's used, obviously, to grow a baby cow into a large cow or full adult cow, or the crops and land that is used and the water that is used for chickens and pigs. I don't eat pigs. So Livestock uses 77% of all agricultural land on Earth, yet it only produces 18% of the world's calorie supply. This inefficiency is the leading driver of rainforest deforestation in the Amazon and biodiversity loss globally. Also, on the point of lawns, think about the pollinators that you're losing, that you could be gaining, and the pollinators that are gone because you are using pesticides and whatnot on your lawn. Yeah, I mean, I've been vegan on this point of the massive scale of the livestock and what they're using for the land. People don't consider that it's not just that you're eating animals, but the animals have to grow up and live on a certain patch of land. And then you also have to feed those animals, so that requires yet another patch of land. All the water, all the energy, the diesel, all the energy that goes into producing the meat that you're eating. And sometimes you could just say, well, the land that is being used for feeding of the livestock, we could just skip the middleman and use that land for fruits and veggies for us. The resource disparity per pound. Beef burger. One burger requires 660 gallons of water, equal to 2 months of showers. Plant burger uses 95% less water and land compared to its beef counterpart. Carbon cost. The animal agriculture produces more GHGs than the entire global transportation sector. So, leading cause of deforestation, and obviously the carbon footprint is for the animal agriculture industry, the carbon footprint is off the rails. Topic 3, a seasonal footprint. We're at the third topic now. The real versus artificial Christmas tree debate. So it's something that you don't really think about. There's some statistics here we're going to go over, but basically every year, everybody who celebrates Christmas, who gets a real tree, is taking a tree from the earth that could otherwise have been used to produce oxygen and scrub out carbon dioxide. It's something that you might laugh at, but if you really crunch the numbers, you'd realize, like, oh wow, every year, like if doing Christmas once in your life and taking the tree would be one thing, but people in the millions, if not billions, do it yearly, every year, right? And you can say, well, you know, there are Christmas tree farms that are supplying Christmas trees, but as we all know, that's an idealist take. But in reality, people are taking their Christmas trees, their pine trees, their evergreen trees from wherever, and sometimes it's not from a Christmas tree farm, let's be honest. And this has a direct result, an environmental impact, not only on the wildlife around the tree that we're using it, but also on oxygen that we breathe. What species does this to themselves every year? The carbon footprint of a real tree, 3.5 kilograms of CO2. Artificial plastic tree, 40 kilograms of CO2. The origin, local eco farms. Artificial plastic tree, international shipping, or China. Sustainability, a local tree, a real tree is biodegradable, and the artificial tree goes to the landfill. Break-even point, yearly renewed, according to this statistic, and the plastic trees must be used for 12 years. Artificial trees must be reused for over a decade to match the carbon footprint of a locally sourced real tree. Some statistics there. But this is just touching the surface, honestly. You could do the math on that. I mean, we have to do some more research to make this presentation really pop. I got to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to have to do that. Topic 4, the Niagara salt crisis. So I'm in Niagara, and road salt is used every year around here. It's used in other parts of the world. I've traveled the world. I have not been to Asia, but I've been to Germany, France, Portugal, America, obviously, Mexico, the Caribbean, and all throughout Canada. There are parts of Europe, that I would like to see still. There are parts of Asia that I would love to see. I've not been to Australia either, but road salt is used all over, not just here in Niagara. How winter safety is turning our fresh water into brine. The acidification of the soil, obviously on the sides of the road, right? But where does all that water get washed out to? The lake, right? The lake, the rivers. Niagara watershed chloride levels, milligrams per liter. Ontario uses over 2 million tons of road salt annually. Our rivers are becoming as salty as the oceans, threatening local drinking water and aquatic life. Questions? Let's uncover the secrets together. adamjosh.com, @adamjosh, image sources. All right. I'm going to have to get into more facts on each topic, but that is my presentation that we kind of came up with. But as far as the salt crisis goes, there's actually some wildlife and some aquatic life that has been directly impacted by the acidification of the waterways. There's certain fish species that are not present anymore because of or they're dwindling off because of the acidification and the chloridation of the waterways. It's something that we just don't think of, but yeah, you're dumping road salt into the rivers, into the lakes, and then obviously the chloride levels of the water supply and rivers and lakes is going up to the point where local aquatic life is not going to be able to, and especially the smaller sensitive creatures are not going to be able to be surviving in it. It's not a compatible fit for them. So I'm going to have to go into some more detail on these topics, but that's my presentation. Hope you enjoyed the last 12 minutes. Take care, everybody. Bye.